So, I may have been wrong about Batman, which that'll make me happy because I thought that there was no point in really gearing him up because I thought that he was going to fall off quick, which he may still do. However, I've changed my approach, I've changed my thought process a little bit, and actually it's changing what I'm doing with my gear and how I even approach enemies in the game. So let's get to the video.
There is a difference between you and me. We both looked into the abyss. But when it looked back at us, you blinked.
Hi guys, I'm Gravity here, and this is a DC Worlds Collide video. Wow, I almost had a throwback on my brain fart just then. Anyway, in this video, I'm gonna go over gear. Now, part of the reason I'm gonna go over gear, or part of the reason why you see Batman here, is because I'm gonna go over the gear with the concept of why I have now put much better gear on my Batman. And the overall concept will be single target damage versus AoE, but then I'm gonna get into my tanks. I'm gonna get into why I use block gear this way, HP gear this way. And I mean, I guess be on the lookout for these videos a little bit more because maybe this is a thought process I have now, but then maybe this changes as I go deeper into the game and my concepts of the game itself change. So one thing I did want to do, and I tried to get it going when I was doing DC Legends. I love riddles. I love riddles. I love the fact that they put a riddle in this game, right? That they did this. So what I'm gonna do, because I had this idea last night and I only remembered it now right before I started recording. So I'm gonna give you one of those like basic riddles. Put it in the comment section below. I'm trying to think of some kind of like game giveaway prize, like when the game goes live with the riddles and how that would work. We will see. Don't necessarily care if you guys look it up or not, but honor system, have some pride. At least try before you Google it. So anyway, here goes your riddle for the, I guess, day for this video. What is greater than God, more evil than the devil? Rich people want for it, poor people have plenty of it, and if you eat it, you die. Answer in the comment section below. All right, so now, what we're going to do is go into Batman's kit and the concept that I have. And the reason this changed, actually, we'll even go further back just to give you my entire thought process. The reason this changed is because I am in system recovery, and this MFing condition right here on 12:10, where I have to beat the enemy in 3 turns. Now, the problem that I had was not even a problem really, but I'm dealing with a mini boss and then just, kind of an assistant. So it's just 2, and the mini boss is going to be strong. Now, at this point, I feel like I should be able to take him out. I don't know why. Now, why did I change thought process? Because this mini boss, this Damien over here that's kind of providing support, you can go here to this button, you can click it, and you'll see the other teams that people use to clear it. Now, here's the thing. It gives you what they use to clear it. It's not necessarily they cleared it with the clearing all the milestones as well, right? But I kept seeing Batman and Batman and Batman, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Then I go into the battle with Batman, and off rip, now you'll see he's up front. You know why? Because the thing I said at the beginning of this game holds true now, and that is you want single target damage dealers to do a lot of damage on a single target. I've been investing a lot in my AoE damage dealer, Green Arrow, so I can get as much damage as possible over a crowd, a horde of enemies. So I have been really heavily focused on that, and that's not a good idea, because in scenarios like this, or scenarios where you kind of want to target a mini boss, even if it is in a crowd, some of the single target damage dealers have these special mechanics where they will just target the character with the highest damage, character with the highest HP, whatever. So in this scenario, when I'm running Green Arrow, even though he has better gear, he's not going to hit harder and higher rank. He's not necessarily going to hit any harder than Batman is going to do on his single target attack when it comes to Lex, because his damage is spread across. I need to change my strategy. It's not going to happen now. We're at 5 turns. I need to change my strategy so that I adjust for putting the proper gear on single target damage dealers so they can get in there and really, really crack skulls. So we'll go ahead and forfeit out of this. So now my thought process has changed and is evolving. And it is that and I'm going to go, and this is how it's going to get into gear. How am I going to equip them? Crit gear and attack gear, I'll get into the details there in a second. Crit gear increases your chance to crit, of course. Attack gear increases your attack. Now, I'm leaning towards having more crit gear on my AoE damage dealers and more attack gear on my single target, right? Why is that? Because the AoE is going to hit 5 enemies, for example, in that scenario, there's more opportunity to have a crit shot. If I put crit gear on the single target, is that being the priority? Yeah, they might crit, but yeah, they might not. Now, oftentimes, a lot of these guys will do multiple hits on their basic. So you see here, attacks enemy 2 times, each dealing physical damage equal to 60% of attack. Okay, good. But what if out of those 2 shots, nothing crits? Now we have 19% crit here. If I added another crit set, that would take it up to 29. So let's just say 30, right? So there would be a 30% chance to crit. That's 1 every 3. I'm doing 2 attacks. You would think it'd be a good chance, possible that it won't happen. But if we back out and we go to Green Arrow on his AoE attack, his main one, I'm going to the main one, he's going to deliver 3 times 40, 40, and 75 to everybody. So that means that if there's 5 characters out there that you're hitting, that means you're going to have 15 attacks. If he's critting, then guess what? He has more of an opportunity to crit because of how many people he's hitting. Now, with this scenario, because I was putting attack gear on Green Arrow at first, I'm very, very hesitant to shift it over to crit. This may end up happening today as I'm like changing these thought processes, but I'm gonna get to that, Damien. So like basically I kind of want to put crit on it, but this is a change in my thought process. The gear that I have on him right now isn't necessarily detrimental in terms of its attack, so it's good, but I'm genuinely wondering if I increase his crit chance by another 10% and I have a crit here of it's going to get up to 30, 1 in 3, similar to the Batman, it's going to do a better job. It's going to crit more often. He's critting like a madman now at 20%. So if I get him to crit more, reduce the attack by a bit, but get him to crit more, that might be a bonus. So, and yes, Damien asked, isn't Batman my favorite? I literally still have a Batman wallet. Yes, Batman is my favorite superhero of all time. But as I said in the previous videos, a lot of time what they'll do is slap the Batman logo on it. He'll be an early game player, get people like me hooked who are in love with Batman, because I'm not in the minority. It's not like I said I'm the biggest fan of the Crow, which the Crow is awesome. But you get Batman to draw you in, you play with Batman for a bit, but now you're into the game. Oh, Batman fell off, get these other new characters. That's how my experience has been. I could be wrong, and I'm happy that I might be wrong about Batman. The only reason I'm not ranking him up right now doing all those resources is because I'm literally this close to ranking up Superman to rank 8, and then I think I'll go back and rank up Batman first and then do the rest of the stuff. Now, when it comes down to the rest of the gear that I'm putting out, we're gonna first go through, and I'm wondering what's the best way to do this. You know what? I'll just do Kid Flash. Speed. All right. So by putting the first set on, you get +8 on speed, and the second set you get +12. As you can see right now, my Kid Flash is at 239. I'm pretty damn sure he's the fastest one in the game. Oh, Olympia's with me right now. She's not feeling well because of she has a little eye allergy right now, so she's a little needy girl, and I'm taking care of her for now. Anyway, sorry. Make sure she's okay. So basically, because he's a healer, and now I know there's a heal on the ultimate, but there's also a heal on the advanced attack, right? I put him in speed gear because I want his turns to come around faster. I think that it is a good practice to put the abilities that you want to get out first and most often. You're going to have to balance it, but put speed gear on those characters. So, for example, Zatanna, she's in speed gear. I think I spoke about this in her guide, but the reason she's in speed gear is not because she's a healer, because she really doesn't heal in that way. It's passive lifesteal. The reason why she has this is because of the advanced attack, where she's putting out strong attack and frantic buffs on the entire team. I want those buffs out there quick, fast, and in a hurry. And the other advantage of putting her in speed gear, which she ain't that fast. The other thing about putting her in speed gear is that she's going to be at the front of the line, right? So she's going to go, well, second to Kid Flash, but she's going to go in the front. So that way, when we actually get our ultimates to pop off, my characters have frantic and strong attack on them. That's why I have her there. Another example for something different is Star Sapphire. The reason why Star Sapphire is in speed, and I think is it one or two, oh no, I have two sets on her. The reason she's in speed is because of this. Now there's going to be, this is the thing. This is the fun part about the game that's different than others. Plenty of games do this though, is that just because you have Star Sapphire doesn't mean that you know what the other Star Sapphire is that you're going up against in Arena or Elite Arena, because you can gear them up. So for example, I have speed set on my Star Sapphire. I got her kind of, I won't say late, but a little bit later. I already had like 10, 15 tunes that I was focusing on, so she kind of like fell by the wayside a little bit. But then I noticed this amazing ability, the stun on her advanced attack, put her in speed gear because I want to get that stun out there more often and quickly. I want her to run out real fast, stun somebody, anybody. Well, I usually want a specific, but anyway, anybody. And then disable that person for one turn, right? So that is why I have her in speed set. Now, for example, if I gotten her first in the game, like she's one of my top 5, then she'd probably be in attack sets, or I don't know. She does do a heal, if I'm not mistaken. Is it a small heal? No, she takes heal amount. So like probably an attack set, maybe some HP. I might still be speed, honestly. But it's hard for me to see her outside of speed at this point. So that is like the idea behind. And actually, you know what? I've given you the heal purpose. I've given you the buffs. I've given you the debuff. One more debuff, and I just changed this over. I'm still working it out, as you can see. Speed gear on Starfire, and this is because of a passive. The passive means that she will do, on every attack, she deals burn. Well, is that useful? Well, if she's putting burn on everybody, you need 4 burns to have them actually detonate and cause the damage. Put out more burns, run her with Superman, Superboy, whoever else who's putting out burns, the detonations happen more quickly. That is the thought process. I don't know if that's working or not yet. I literally did that this morning. So that is what I'm doing with my speed sets. Now, with my block sets, block I do like, he is not one of them. Back up. And this is the most experimental one. I have a block set on Bane and I have a block set on Grodd. Now we'll go over Grodd's first because it's not really a mechanic thing. I'm testing this. I'm not 100% sure. Now there is the concept of, I don't know, they probably will at some point if this game lasts long enough. They will probably have defensive gear sets get introduced into the game, and super defensive sets and super blocks and like just things like that just help you expand. For the moment, they don't have a defensive set. So I'm treating block as that defensive set because it doesn't block as in like it's blocking all damage. It blocks an amount. So it's almost increasing your defense for the times that it's blocking, okay? So the idea here was with my tank, who I'm expecting to take a lot of damage, and we'll see if it works well. Honestly, there's a easy way for me to play test this. And I'm not gonna do it in this video because this video is gonna go long anyway. I might do a block set play test right after this. I'm sorry, she's already like trying to go to sleep. I'm keeping my arm like this because her head is like in my arm and she's falling asleep. I'm gonna write this down just to do a block set play test. I'm sorry. So I'm doing this just to do a block set play test where there's in my head, two schools of thought. If I'm doing it with Grodd, I can do 2 HP sets and get the 3% HP boost, and then the 6% HP boost, and then just make him chubby. So that way he has a lot of HP. Keep hitting him, a lot of HP. Or my thought process is the block set where I'm taking less damage. I'm increasing my block, and I'm taking less damage, right? So now I'm experimenting with the taking less damage. Next time, and this will be in the playtest, I'll do it. It'll be if he has a bunch of HP. Okay. Now, Bane is a little bit different because Bane has this weird thing in his kit where, and I don't even know which one it is. Is it a passive? When he takes damage greater than 8% of his max HP, he activates the engine on his back and injects himself with venom, healing himself up to HP equal to 30% of his attack. Now, when healing received, permanently increase the healing. Okay, so now here's the thing. Here's the thing. And it's a weird math thing. If the HP pool is smaller, then the attacks that could reduce his HP by 8% don't have to be as strong, which means that I can hopefully activate this more often. That was the weird math I did in my head. But you still put the block set on him so that his defense is up, so he's still not taking a tremendous amount of damage. Yeah, she's not liking the whole conversation and me not. Yeah. Anyway, so that he's not taking a tremendous amount of damage. So trying to hopefully manage and get it in that 8%. However, it might be better to put him in HP. I'm not 100% sure. I should probably play test this as well just to see. But that is the reason why I have Bane in a block set. Oh, and then next. This is where it comes into play where basically Ocean Master, has dictated that he should be in a block set because of his passive ability. This passive ability here for when an I don't know if this actually happens on Ocean Master. When an ally blocks an attack, Ocean Master will launch to a counterattack. But not just that. Where's the other one? Yeah, grants 50% block amount to an ally with the lowest HP. So I think it is this one that I was thinking of. When an ally blocks, assuming that he blocks as well, or that counts for him as well, he counters attack like a madman. So you want to run him with Nightwing in a block set, he himself in a block set. We're blocking more, so he's going to counterattack more. And then lastly, Nightwing, which I think is kind of obvious for everybody. I'm putting him in a block set because of this one. When taking damage, has a 10% chance to shock the damage dealer with electricity dealing superpower damage equal to 70% of it. If this damage is blocked, the chance is triggering it increases to 60% or 80% because I have him level 2. You trying to say hello? She wants to say hi. Can you see her? No? See a sick pup? Olympia. By the way, Damien, you asked if I was a Batman fan. My dog has bat ears, yo. Don't you ever doubt. All right, you want to get down? All right, let's put you down for a little bit. Bring you back up later. I think my voice is like booming a little bit too much for her. Okay, anyway. So, next, that's the block set. Next is why I would put tanks in HP. That's kind of obvious. It goes back to the concept of if there's some chubby boys, then bigger HP pool, harder to take them down. Penguin is a prime candidate for this. I also put him in heal set, which I don't even know if this is going to really work for him because the heal set that I'm putting on, and I need to pay attention to it when it happens. I'm trying to get his heals to crit because of an ability here where he, during battle, increases HP by 20% and gains 30% healing received bonus. The heal received, and I think, actually, you know what? Here's the thing. This probably needs to go, if I'm being completely honest. This probably needs to go because he does heal himself at a certain point. Healing himself for 15% of his max HP, and then I put the heal crits on there. So like, I'm hoping that'll crit that heal on his ultimate. We'll have to see. But that's why he's in that HP set. And I think who's the other one? Bizarro. Bizarro kind of demands to be in a HP set because of his passive, where he's going to give a flower to an ally with the highest max HP and then basically share in the damage. So he's taking damage when he gets attacked, and he's taking damage when that person gets attacked. So increase HP. That's the thought process behind that. All right, so the healer set, and I've already talked about it with Penguin, and I'm hoping that works for his ultimate. And I need to pay attention to that, to be quite honest with you. But the other person for the heal set, and I cannot actually determine how good the heal set is because I don't feel like I have a bunch of healers, and it really makes me feel like I should reread my kit, because the only person I can think of where the heal crit would go would be, well, of course, Kid Flash, but I mean, it goes because he heals, so yeah, that makes sense. And then also Black Canary, because Black Canary also heals. But those are like the only two that I can think of off the top of my head. Like this crit thing does not work for Zatanna when she does her ability, where this passive ability where all allies gain lifesteal. The heal set does not work for that. So that is why she's just going to stick to speed and HP. But yeah, the heal set giving you an extra crit, like you can get a critical hit heal, I think would be nice. But I can only really truly utilize it on Kid Flash, Black Canary, and we'll see. I should probably play test Penguin as well. We will see if Pingy. We will see. Oh, that was the other one. Buying. We will see if it actually makes a difference. You know what I mean? Like, oh, God. Yeah, there's about to be a bunch of set playtests. So yeah, I'm not entirely, if I'm being honest, I'm not entirely convinced of what I'm doing with the heal set. And then we go back and we've come around back to attack and crit. Now, for example, Red Hood has a few abilities where he is giving himself increased crit chance, increased crit chance, increased crit chance. And Frantic here giving himself 10% and 10%, which my first thought was crit damage, dealing crit hit, etc., etc. My first thought was put him in more crit gear. However, if he's giving himself this many crits, I changed my view and thought that maybe it's best to put him into attack. He's going to crit anyway, and unless the crit set starts to increase crit damage and not just the chance of critting, then there's no reason for me to have the crit set on him. He's going to crit already, so just increase his attack so that when that attack goes through, the crit damage is higher. That's the thought process around this single target damage dealer having attack. Now, it's also because he's single target. That does help. That goes along with that theory that I was saying about attack sets. Well, 2 attack and 1 crit on your single target, and then 2 crits and 1 attack on your AoE. It falls in line with that, so I like it. In any case, I think that is actually it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, cool. So, thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe. If you don't like it, subscribe and a dislike. I'm okay with that as well. I'm going to go into playtesting Penguin, Bane, and Grodd, and testing this gear to see if it's giving me my desired effect, which we'll talk about that in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.